Almost all contemporary science on mainstream media is fakery and fraud. Most published research is complete nonsense, and every field of science is dominated by fakers, frauds, and con artists who fabricate research to collect government grant money while pushing false narratives. Nearly everything pushed under the claimed label of science, climate change, experimental invasive medical procedures, green energy, and so on, is pure fakery and fraud. The science journals themselves are filled with deliberate fictions, hoping to deceive the world into supporting more government-funded research into whatever narrative nets the most grant money. This is how science journals have become obsessed with climate change research, claiming that climate change is the cause for, otherwise normal, albeit, sometimes benign and other times calamitous, weather patterns, economic fluctuations, physiological conditions, etc., also known as life on planet Earth.
The entire industry of antidepressant drugs is based entirely on fraud. There is no brain chemistry imbalance that's solved by magic pills. The more you look into big pharma and their medical junk science, the more you realize it's all a massive, coordinated, greed-driven fraud to sell prescription medications to people who don't need them and won't be helped by them. The entire industry of antidepressant drugs has been revealed as a massive fraud. Big pharma would like you to believe that depression can be corrected with SSRI drugs. This fraud has been blown apart by numerous real studies that confirm there's no link between low serotonin levels and depression. Essentially, Big Pharma and the complicit pharma-funded corporate media have been committing massive medical fraud for decades, lying to the public and promising that SSRI pills will make you happier. In reality, it only made Big Pharma richer. The entire industry is rooted in fraud and fake science.
Decades of Alzheimer's research is now revealed to be faked. Alzheimer's research is now being called into question because it turns out researchers doctored photos of amyloid proteins to make it appear as if these proteins cause Alzheimer's. Why did they fake the photos? To collect on over $28 million in grants from the NIH, of course, which hands out grants to anyone who can prop up the lies of Big Pharma, allowing the pharmaceutical industry to sell more drugs that don't work. Economic science is a joke and economic recessions are no longer called recessions. We're told by White House Ministry of Truth propagandists that 2 consecutive quarters of shrinking GDP is no longer a recession because a Democrat is in the White House. And the fake information authority Wikipedia altered its own definition of recession to match the economic lies of the White House, then froze the page and disallowed all edits. The entire field of MMT, modern monetary theory, is rooted in complete delusion and fakery, claiming that governments can print money to infinity with no inflation and no negative consequences. These are the delusions of madmen who are destroying the world, but they often do so in the name of science. Mainstream fake media claims the whole world is heating up faster than the rest of the world. As a hilarious example of the junk science lunacy of the climate cult, look no further than the corporate-controlled media, which now claims that every country in the world is heating up faster than every other country in the world. Such a claim is mathematically impossible, yet it has become the default lunatic claim of the climate cult media, regardless of its incomprehensible nature. Europe heating up faster than much of the world. Israel warming up almost twice as fast as rest of world. New England is warming up faster than the rest of the world. Europe is warming faster than the rest of the world. Africa warming faster than rest of world. China is heating up faster than the global average. Australia is warming faster than global average. Global warming is so bad that it somehow makes every country hotter than all other countries, even if those countries are themselves hotter than all the rest of the countries. Circular logic. Total fraud. Welcome to the climate cult, where logic is never allowed.
NASA pretends that solar-powered helicopters can fly around on Mars where there's virtually no atmosphere. They will continue to waste unlimited amounts of money on this fake space mission, as they will claim to send 2 space helicopters to Mars that will be used to landscape the planet by moving rocks around the surface. This is just the latest lunacy from NASA, which went to extraordinary, but painfully obvious, lengths to fake Apollo broadcasts, falsely claiming they were halfway to the moon and pretend to broadcast a video of Earth through the Apollo capsule window. The same NASA that provides video documentary proof, straight out of their archives of their fakery. The same NASA that keeps an astonishing collection of videos and other content revealing the agency's decades-long fraud of Apollo missions and more. The same NASA which has on display documented photos and videos that are so laughable by today's standards, they wouldn't even qualify as good comedy. The same NASA that has been exposed for the moon landing hoax ad nauseum again and again.
So, I guess you want to do it again.
Climate science is weak to exaggerate temperatures. There is no global warming crisis, carbon dioxide is not a pollutant, and the so-called greenhouse gas effect from CO2 is complete fiction. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, predicts a global warming by placing temperature stations near hot roads in overheated urban areas, then scream, "It's warming." NOAA is a junk science laundering front for the billion-dollar climate industry. It turns out that green science is a complete fraud pushed by bad-faced politicians, obedient journalists and virtue-signaling corporations. This is all rooted in fake Western scientists who have hijacked real science and who claims to have a monopoly on effects. These politically placed frauds are stooges for the globalist eugenics controllers who want to control your life, your death, and the energy you consume in between. Don't forget you will also be required to eat crickets, drink recycled urine, and own nothing.